Well, howdy, everybody. Teresa here. Just me and the critters today. Bradman's at work. In fact, he'll be working late tonight. He had an employee call in sick. You know that happens. So, it is, let me see, it is July 14th, 2018. It is Saturday evening at 6:42 p.m. It is 78 degrees right now. Real feel is 84. The high today was only 80. The low tonight will be 75. We've been getting rain and thunder. We've been getting thunder and lightning big time, and then a lot of heavy rain most of the day. It's kind of slacked off now. It's only, it's still raining, but not near as hard. Humidity is at 89%. Hi, Angel. What are you doing? Well, come here, kitty. Come on, baby girl. Come on, Angel. What's your name? Yo, cat. Yo, kitty cat. Okay. So the wind's at 3 miles an hour from the west. And I know you're just all happy. And the air quality is good at 42%. And the sunrise was at 6:45. Sunset will be at 8:40. And Angel is very persistent. When she wants to be pet, she wants to be pet, and she wants, oh, I know, she wants to be pet right now, don't you? See, look at that baby girl right there. We're all happy, aren't you? Are you happy, really? See, look at that, some pushed up face. So, sorry, the lighting is kind of off. You know, we're messing around with moving stuff, and so this is what we call the TV watching chair. We have the TV watching couch, or the dog couch, and then we have the computer chair. It's not really a computer chair, it's just another recliner, but then the computer section of the front room, as we laughingly call it. Excuse me. So, sorry I didn't make a video yesterday. I was not feeling good at all. I was feeling quite under the weather. I woke up with a sore throat. I had been messing around with a sore throat for about 3-4 days. And then I had really bad earaches and a lot of congestion. So I did the eucalyptus wax melts and the Vicks Vapor Rub on my throat, and that really helped. And just kind of drank a lot of fluids, clear fluids, and took it easy. If anybody knows where you can find some good, inexpensive eucalyptus wax melt, let me know, because, I used to be able to get them from Walmart, but I haven't been finding them forever, and I've ordered some, and they weren't very good, and they weren't very strong, and, so yeah, I'm having a hard time finding those, and I do use those a lot. So I did make a hat yesterday. I did some loom knitting. Started another one. Brad cooked dinner. When he got home, he likes to cook and stuff. And since I wasn't feeling very good, I'd only had soup. I'd had a can of soup. So he made homemade hash browns and sausage and eggs, and that's what we had for dinner. And I was starting to feel better, and in fact, I felt good enough that after he went to bed and stuff, I cleaned house. You guys know I like to clean house when everybody else is in bed. It's like nobody's in the way, there's not a lot of commotion. I like, waking up the next day and the house is clean and stuff. So that's what I did, and yeah. So, kind of slipped off and on. Oh, what was that about? Kind of slipped off and on last night and this morning, and then I've been doing laundry today. Of course, I had just pulled in all of the clothes that were out on the line when it started thundering. In fact, I was still taking Nixie outside when the first thunder hit, and it kind of froze mid-beat. Cut that off and ran back inside the house. So, yeah, so, and I'm on my third load, and I'm going to be making Jamaican banana bread tonight. Either tonight or tomorrow, I'm not sure which, but I will videotape it. It's a new recipe. I haven't made it before, but you guys know, I don't know about you guys, and maybe it's the summertime heat, but those bananas are turning so fast. Linda and I have been talking about that. They turned so darn fast. I mean, one day they were too green to eat, the next day they're brown. And I don't like brown. When it starts getting a lot of spots on them, I don't like them. It's the texture of them. So I'm going to be making that, and I'm going to try to reduce down the sugar as much as possible. Now, it does call, the reason I'm waiting to make it till Brad gets home is he's going to get me some spiced rum. It calls for dark rum or apple cider. I don't have either. So he said, well, we got some, he said we had like a little mini of the Jim Beam vanilla whiskey or something. And so, you know, I'm talking to him since that's what he does for a living, and talk to him about, you know, what would be the best. And he said, well, he didn't have any dark rum in small bottles. I mean, I'll need more than a mini because I need 6 tablespoons. But he said, you know, a spiced rum. And I said, well, a spiced rum will work great. And so I'll wait to make it till he gets home. Like I said, he has to work late, though. One thing I wanted to kind of talk about, other than, oh, and I'm feeling much better today, by the way. No sore throat, none of that. So, you know, when you think about attributes about yourself that maybe you got from people that you grew up with or family members and stuff. So I wrote down a few. My sense of humor, I got that from myself, actually. I actually got that from myself. I didn't get that from, you know, I would say maybe some of my paternal side, you know, has more of a sense of humor. Sense of adventure, I got from my grandmother on my maternal side. They're the ones that owned the bowling alley, and they were the ones I was closest to growing up. And she loved to take trips. She loved to go to they used to go to polka conventions and stuff and dance, you know, polka. And she also loved bingo, and she loved slot machines. So sometimes they would go, like, to, I think it was Reno, and they would sit there and play the slots and stuff. Well, Grandpa played other card games, you know, and every year when the fair came in the summertime there in Wyoming, they would go every single night to the fair and rodeo, and she would sit there and she would play the bingo until the rodeo was starting. And I remember that was the first time I ever played bingo, was she was playing, and my grandmother always dressed up. She always usually wore makeup whenever she left the house and stuff. For years and years growing up, she had not as bright of red hair as Lucille Ball, but close to it. And she did not change that until I was in junior high, and she had was losing her eyesight and having horrible headaches. And so she went and they diagnosed her with a brain tumor. And once she had that out, she had to go down to Denver to have that. This is in the 70s, you guys. We're lucky she survived. In fact, they had her on the table and open for so long, and this tumor was pressing against her optic nerve. And it actually did leave her with no sense of taste or smell after that. But she had the boreholes in front. She had one here and one here, and then you could see one up here, because they could not put all of it back together. They couldn't fill that in and stuff, because they had to get her closed up. So, but once she had that surgery done, you know, and they shaved all her hair off, she decided not to color her hair anymore after that. But yeah, I always remember she smelled good. She would she would wore that emerald a lot. And like I said, always jewelry and stuff. And if she didn't have her hair done, she had wigs and stuff. And yeah, um, I also got kind of a sense of that it was okay to not be skinny, because she always was like, she always just thought I was wonderful the way I was, you know. And she was really a wonderful, wonderful grandmother to me until she got older. And Brad thinks that she suffered probably some brain damage from years later. She uh, had to be put on oxygen and stuff. She almost died. And that's when they found out that she had COPD and congestive heart failure and I don't know, a few other things. Anyway, he thinks that probably maybe it was lack of oxygen she got mean. But I just choose to remember the good parts of her. You know, she loved me. And my grandfather, I learned the love of gardening and growing things and bowling, because he worked with me a lot on my bowling. And like I said, we always were very lucky that all of us grandkids were always given a new bowling ball. He would custom drill it. You know, we had bags. He didn't do the shoes because growing, you know, your shoes, you outgrow them so fast. So it wasn't until you were done growing then, you know, the shoes. But I always remember him working with me up at the bowling alley. I always remember him early in the morning. I would be up there. And because if my parents had to take my brother down to Salt Lake to the Shriners Hospital, well, I stayed with my grandparents then during the school year. You know, they'd be down there a week or so. And I loved it because, you know, Grandma packed a really good lunch, okay? At this point in time, there were no hot lunches in our school. Grandma packed, and Linda and I were talking about this. You remember the canned pudding? Then you had to open it. It was a metal lid with a pull tab. And they always said, don't lick the lid. Everybody did. But she would pack a really good lunch. But my grandmother was a night owl. But she didn't get up early in the morning. So I believe she did get up and get me dressed and everything. I just don't quite remember. But my grandpa would take me up to the bowling alley early in the morning. And the cook there, because they had a small little restaurant with the bowling alley inside of it, she would make me breakfast. And then when it was time for school, my grandfather would give me a ride down to school. Well, anyway, I remember watching him clean the lanes. You know, he had this machine that would go all the way down, come back. I was just mesmerized by that. And he would whistle in the morning. And, you know, this concrete bowling alley with all these wooden lanes and stuff, it just echoed. And he could whistle and yodel like nobody's business. And I still can remember hearing him whistle in the morning. And I just loved that. And then one of my favorite things to do, this was a 20-lane house. And it was old style. So it wasn't computerized or anything. So you had to manually hit the switch for each lane, right? Well, he'd let me get behind the counter. And he'd say, okay, hit it, Terry Ann. They always called me Terry Ann. And so I'd go and, you know, you'd be flipping each one. And so it was just like a domino effect from lane 1 to 20. And it would all rack. And just the sound of that and watching it, just good memories. Another person I knew, total acceptance and peace and stuff was Brad's grandmother. Just loved that woman. Her name was also Maxine. My grandmother's name was Maxine. His grandmother's name was Maxine. And I know they would have loved each other. But she was just a wonderful, down-to-earth woman, you know. His grandparents never had hardly anything. And that was okay. Nobody cared. We didn't care. We just were happy to be with him, you know. And what I learned, probably the most valuable lesson is, well, one of them is what being loved really felt like, and that's from my husband. You know, having somebody really love you. You guys hear that? I think I have a frog in my house. Did you guys hear that? I'm not sure if he's on the inside of the window over there or not. I'm going to have Brad look. I ain't looking till Brad gets home. Because, yeah, I keep hearing that every so often. And then also, this whole journey, no, it must be outside, because, no, but this whole journey of leaving, y'all hear it? I wonder if it's in the air conditioner. I'm not looking till Brad gets home. This whole journey of leaving most everything that we had, just taking, you know, basically a few mementos and our animals when we left Wyoming and coming out here, going through what we went through, living in the RV, has really humbled both of us. I mean, not that we were, you know, thought we were anything before, but I tell you what, it makes you appreciate every little thing so much more in life. And going through something, going through the stuff we've gone through, which isn't anything more and not even near as much as a lot of people have gone through, but it does change you and it gives you a different focus on life. And a number of my friends have lost their spouses or their loved ones. You know, we've lost a lot of friends over the last few years and stuff, you know, that have passed away and stuff. And it makes you a lot more humble. You know, and also recently what we've been going through with Brad's mother and family dynamics. Like I said, I'm not going to go into family dynamics because they're a personal thing. There's always going to be some kind of a war waging. We're not at war with anybody, let me say that. But there's always going to be kind of a war waging among siblings so often, or other family members when it's dealing with or not always, sometimes, okay? Because I know some of you guys, there hasn't been any war waged and everybody got along great, and that's wonderful. But we can tell, and it's happened before, that that's not going to be the case. You know, Brad and his sister are the two that are you know, his mother appointed for them to be making the decisions and stuff. And that's what it's come down to. His mom is now full-time in a nursing home and stuff. Oh, her bathrobes, her 2 bed jackets did arrive yesterday. So that's really good. But never discount family members, because we have been estranged from several family members that we hadn't spoken to in years, and we're, you know, probably closer than ever now. Him and his sister, they're, you know, his sister that he is, they both make the decisions. Mainly it's his sister Susan, and then Brad is the second one, and then once his mom passes, they'll both jointly, yeah. It has to be done that way because she's right there to take care of stuff. But anyway, they probably closer than they've ever been, and, you know, our little niece, Brittany and stuff, just love her to pieces and stuff. And that really feels good, because now you don't feel like you have no family. You feel like, well, I do have some family. I have some family that I've picked out with some of my near and dear friends. And then, you know, some family. God, where is it? Angel, where is it? I don't want you to go track it down, Angel. It might be poisonous. You guys hear that? It's gotta be, I don't know where it is, but it's like, I'm not going over there. I actually am not sitting over there because, yeah. Anyway. Oh, you guys heard it. You guys heard it, though. But, I've got what I was saying now. You know, oh, my friends that, or my family that I have, you know, everything I think happens accidentally, but, you know, accidentally, you know, become friends with this person, that person, and then they become so near and dear to you, like my best friend Linda, who we call each other sisters, and, you know, you guys know, I just love her to pieces, and she just gets me. We just, you know, we talk every day, and we know each other so well that, you know, it's just wonderful. And I have so many other wonderful friends. My friend Vicky, and, you know, Michelle, and Michelle, and Rebecca, and just, you know, Rebecca's little girl sends me colored pictures, and I hang them on my fridge. I'm so proud of them. It means a lot. Those little hands colored, you know, and that means a lot to me. But anyway, in a good place. In a good place. Oh, I wanted to tell you guys too that I thought maybe the antibiotic wasn't working any longer, the infection was coming back, but no, it seemed to be fine. I think it was trying to maybe rear its ugly head, but I got in these new cranberry supplements, which were like mega strong, okay? I think it was like 25,000 whatever, you know. It's supposed to be formulated specifically for urinary tract health. Because you guys know I can't drink cranberry juice because it just makes me puke. Because I drank too much of it as a kid. So anyway, I think maybe that's helping. You know, plus I've been doing a few other things. I've been listening to you guys. I've been doing some research and stuff. So I'm trying to change some eating habits around. I notice if I eat something real sugary, then I start getting like infection symptoms back, and I know that can be one of the culprits, you know, and that makes sense with what the kidneys do. So, you know, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Oh, and I don't have anything, and I think I already told you guys this, to show you for artwork because I didn't do any all week. I did those masks, but I know I already showed you those masks. And I started a new painting, not last night, the night before. And I showed a picture of that, I think. I can show you guys that because I have a picture of it. Oh, I wanted to show you guys this real quick. The picture of Misty Mama. You see her there on the couch. You see her steps there. Well, she was being very sad because she wasn't able to get on the steps. So I moved those steps from the bedroom. Oh, and I want to show you guys this. This is very pitiful. This is what Missy, you see Missy laying there and Charlie, and the door, you don't see it, but the door of the cage is open. They just like to lay in there. Every night, she goes in there and lays and kind of wedges him in there, and he's too afraid to walk over the top of her, even though she's asleep, to go past her. He's that afraid of her. Isn't that sad? And this is poor Charlie on his couch. Oh, poor mommy. And what you see down there, that tie-dye blanket thing, right there. Oh, that's one of the dog beds I made. So, I don't know if I have anything else to show you. Oh, I can show you. This is the turn. Half time my phone wants to turn, and half time it doesn't. Oh, no, now you want to turn all weird on me. Don't do that. This is a painting I started. I'm not near finished with it. It is a 16 by 20. And I'm just starting it, so, yeah. I didn't work on it yesterday, so I'll probably work on it tonight. Anyway, that's all I have to do. You guys probably will see a video up tomorrow, because I'm going to make that Jamaican banana bread, colorful coconut flakes. You could substitute something else. Linda had a really good idea about putting like crushed pineapple or something in it. If you had some of that, you'd have to really drain all that water. or juice off of it, but that's not a bad idea. You know, poor Charlie. But anyway, I'm going to get off here. Remember, I love you guys, and I do cherish your friendship so much, and I think you guys are awesome. And I will talk to you. Well, I won't probably talk to you too much when I do the video, but for the recipe, but I'll talk to you Monday. Alright, you guys stay safe, warm, dry, and cool. No, don't stay warm. Stay cool. Alright, love you. Bye.